My sister Jeannie was 12 years old when I was born in 1954. And because of who she was, and because of who my parents were, and because I was a sweet and helpless baby, she was the one who took care of me. Now, I don't have a lot of memories from those early years, but what I do remember is that she sang to me. She sang a song that was popular around the time I was born. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. When I was 4 years old, my sister, who was then 16 years old, got married. And she moved from Montana to Oregon, and she took me with her. I remember her house. I remember it was filled with light and joy and laughter, and I remember sitting at the bench and eating at the table. I loved it there. But then one day, I went back to Montana. And I didn't see my sister for many years until I was a teenager, and our families all came together about an hour from each other in Washington. By then, I was a teenager with my own views and my own ways, and I was a socialist and a hippie and living my life. And my sister, by then, had 2 sons and a little girl, and she owned a bar and a restaurant. My sister loved money, and she loved gold, and she loved diamonds, and she loved fancy furniture, which was very different than me. When I was 21, I got pregnant, and I wasn't married. Now, my sister didn't really like this, but she helped me out. And sometimes her help kind of hurt. When my little baby girl was born, Malika, she came to the hospital and she brought some clothes, and she said, "I brought you some clothes to take the baby home because I didn't know if you'd have any." Of course, I had clothes to take my baby home in. But that was my sister. When my daughter was young, I spent a lot of time with my sister, and she was very kind to us. I didn't have a lot of money, and so she helped us out. But she was also very domineering and had a lot of opinions about what I did and what happened in the world, and I found myself kind of stepping back from her. It didn't mean that I didn't love her or that she didn't love me. I did. There was a connection between us, but there was something about her dominating me. We kept in contact over the years. I wrote her cards. We would see each other every now and then, but not like we did. About 4 years ago, she called me and she told me that she had cancer and that she was dying. My sister had smoked probably 24/7 for most of her life. I didn't have a judgment about that because I had been working for hospice, and I knew that each and every one of us was dying from something. And so I said to her, what do you need? And she said, "I want to stay home. I want to stay home in my apartment. And that's where I want to be." And I said, "Okay." And so my daughter and I would go up and be with her several times a week. And when I would go up and be with her, I would sleep with her. And we would lay in her bed and hold hands, and she would smoke. And on the television, 24/7 was the Lifetime channel. Now, I don't know if anybody here knows about the Lifetime channel, but the Lifetime channel is filled with stories about women who have been wronged by men. They've been abused. They've been cheated on. Their children have been taken from them. And that was on 24/7. And it reminded me a lot, actually, of my sister's life. So we would lay in that bed holding hands, and my sister would tell me about her life before I was born. And it was sad. And it was full of a lot of pain and suffering. And I had this idea that she was just letting go of all this stuff so that she could leave here. There came a time when my sister could no longer talk, and we had to take care of her and do everything for her. She was in a hospital bed in her living room, and I was in a chair next to her this one night. I would wake up every 2 hours to make sure that she had the medication that she needed. And when I woke up this one time, I felt a cold like I had never felt before, like down into my bones kind of cold. And the room was not cold. I looked at her and I saw that her breathing was like the breathing of someone who was going to die soon. And so I gathered our family together because we were all there to take care of her. I woke them up and we all stood until she took her last breath. And then we bathed her. We put her in her leopard panties, and we put red lipstick on her lips. And then we said goodbye to her. At the celebration of her life, which was at a bar, not much different than this bar, not hers, but a friend's, everyone got up and told stories about my sister, about what a hardcore lady she was, but she was generous and she was kind, but she always let you know what she thought. And when I got up, I had this surprising realization that she had been there for me when I came into this world, and I was there for her when she went out of this world. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.